In this episode, we are going to learn the 35th strategy. The name of the strategy is coordinating one stratagem with another or interlocking stratagems. Welcome to subscribe to the 36 Stratagems channel, comment or send us an email and you will get an ebook about 36 stratagems on sale. In important matters, one should use several stratagems applied simultaneously after another as in a chain of stratagems. Keep different plans operating in an overall scheme. However, in this manner if any one stratagem fails, then the chain breaks and the whole scheme fails. Near Dr. Swift's house lived a wealthy old woman who often sent her servant to deliver gifts to him. Dr. Swift accepted the gifts but never gave any reward to the servant. One day, while Dr. Swift was busy writing, the servant rushed into his room and threw a package on the desk, saying, "My master sent you 2 rabbits." Annoyed, Dr. Swift turned around and said, "Child, that's not how you present a package. Now, sit in my seat and see how I do it, and remember this lesson." The obedient servant sat in the chair as instructed while Dr. Swift left the room. He then knocked on the door and waited for the servant's response. Hearing the servant say, "Come in," he quietly entered the room and approached the table, saying, "Sir, my mistress sends her warm regards and hopes that you accept these 2 rabbits." The servant smiled and replied, "Thank you, and please convey my gratitude to your mistress for her kindness. Also, these 2 shillings are a reward for you personally." Dr. Swift was taken aback and realized that he had never given any tip to this hard-working servant. Apologetically, he smiled and nodded. From then on, he never forgot to give a tip to the servant. In Western culture, tipping is a way to express gratitude and encouragement for someone's assistance. Dr. Swift had overlooked this detail due to his preoccupation with his studies, which made the servant unhappy. However, if the servant had demanded a tip directly, it would have put him in an awkward position and could have affected his image in Dr. Swift's eyes. Therefore, the clever servant employed a chain of events. He first provoked Dr. Swift's displeasure with his rude behavior, prompting Dr. Swift to offer a demonstration of proper etiquette. Then, by cooperating with Dr. Swift's performance, he brought the issue of tipping to the forefront, reminding Dr. Swift of his obligation. This stratagem effectively protected Dr. Swift's reputation while achieving the servant's goal. During the Song dynasty, a general once used a series of tactics to defeat the army of the Jin dynasty. He analyzed that the Jin dynasty soldiers were formidable, especially their cavalry, which was exceptionally brave. Directly engaging them in battle would cause significant casualties to his soldiers. Therefore, he advocated for capturing the enemy's major weaknesses, finding ways to restrain them, and seeking good opportunities for battle. Once, his troops encountered the Jin's army again, and he immediately ordered his troops not to engage in direct combat with the enemy but to adopt guerrilla tactics. Whenever the enemy advanced, he ordered his troops to retreat. As soon as the enemy settled down, he ordered an attack. When the Jin's army counterattacked with full force, he led his troops to disappear without a trace. In this way, retreating and advancing, attacking and stopping, he exhausted the Jin's army. They wanted to fight but couldn't find a way to do so. At night, the Jin soldiers were exhausted and ready to return to their camp for rest. At this point, he secretly sprinkled black beans cooked with spices on the ground and used this to launch a surprise attack on the Jin's army. The Jin's army had no choice but to fight back with all their might. Once again, his troops encountered the Jin's army and deliberately pretended to retreat. The Jin's army was furious and chased after them. The Jin's army's horses ran around all day, hungry and thirsty. They smelled the food on the ground and knew that it was something that could fill their stomachs. They rushed to eat the black beans and refused to move forward even when beaten with whips by soldiers. The Jin's army couldn't control their horses, and in the dark, they became very chaotic. At this time, the Song general gathered all his troops and surrounded them from all sides, killing the Jin soldiers and achieving a complete victory for the Song army. A series of stratagems is to confuse the enemy's judgment with one stratagem and then attack them with another stratagem, so as to create internal conflicts and achieve the goal of defeating the enemy. It can also be a combination of multiple interlocking meters. No matter how strong the enemy is, we can defeat them through this stratagem. In the next episode, we will start the 36th strategy. It's the last episode. Please subscribe to this channel and you won't get lost.